Hi, this is Phil Potempa. Welcome to another edition of Notoriety. Each week we bring you everything. You want to make sure you mark on your calendar all the ticket opportunities and everything that is a must-see so you can plan your week ahead. I'm coming to you on this broadcast day. That is Tuesday, November the 18th. So in case it's a rebroadcast, you'll be able to know the timestamp on this, and that way you can plan accordingly. Of course, it's a chance for you to know everything happening in Northwest Indiana, Chicagoland, and beyond, and the broadcast equivalent of all of the print columns that appear in my flagship newspaper publication, Post-Tribune, underneath the umbrella of Chicago Tribune Media, where you might see some of those stories make it to the suburban ring, or once in a while even to our main edition run. We're just so pleased that you're along for our conversation today. We couldn't be here without our generous underwriting and sponsors. The folks at People's Bank and over this past 8 years, Legacy Foundation, Indiana Arts Commission, all of those great underwriters and sponsors that make our broadcast possible here for the broadcast day as we come to you from our WJOB studios from Hammond, Indiana, the Strachan Van Til studios. Also, we're just so pleased that many of you are joining us through many means. So it could be possibly on the traditional radio dial, or it might be through your streaming and you found us on social media, or you're just streaming us right from Jed TV. We're just glad that you're part of our table conversation that today includes our guest. We have with us Bobbi. Good morning. How are you?
Good, thank you.
And we want you to give us your full name, affiliation, which, of course, it's our friends from Footlight Players, our friends to the east. And they are certainly familiar as a topic and a guest on our show. And also introduce our friend to your right, too, as well, Bobbi.
My name is Bobbi Lauritsen. I am the Assistant Director of I Regret Nothing. I am also currently the President of Footlight Players. And with me today is Rick Henderson, who is one of our volunteer members, and he is the sound operator for I Regret Nothing.
Very good. Good morning. How long have you been a part of the Footlight family?
Since 2013.
And how about?
I have been a part of Footlight since 2020.
Wow.
So not very long, actually.
2020, there should be some nefarious music should be cued because you joined at a time when everything was in transition at Footlight. Footlight Players is one of my favorite venues right along the main stretch of Michigan City. So whether you want to call it Franklin Avenue or 421 until it goes all the way right into the lake and it stops, right there's where you'll find the intimate venue that is Footlight Players. About 80 seats, 100 seats?
Yeah, 82 seats.
About 82 seats right there. So, again, as we talk about the new production that just opened, we've got a second weekend of it going on for an opportunity. Know that tickets do go fast, and I've done this where I've taken a chance and shown up, and they'll say, well, wait it out. Maybe somebody won't show and we'll get you in. Much better to do your ticket reservations in advance, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But first, we're going to talk about this production because it's not one that's done very often. I Regret Nothing, and when I was doing my homework for this, I thought to myself, now, I know I've heard about this, but then I read the quick synopsis, and I heard about a mysterious neighbor and upstairs and dogs, and I thought, I know I've maybe written about this. Did a little research, and in I think it was spring of 2023,
yes, in
Michigan City, not too far. It was done at the Holdcraft Players at their venue, and I'd written a story how the gentleman that's kind of stumbled upon this said it was originally a drama suspense thriller done as a podcast, and he thought, I wonder if I could somehow create it and mold it into a stage play. It isn't like it's just crying to be a stage play. He got the permission and did it, and so I guess that would kind of be the premiere. I want to know how you stumbled upon this, Bobbi.
Actually, John Hutchinson was the director at Holdcraft. He is also the director for our production.
He is the director.
So it is the same director. So it is a very similar history. Basically, when we did it at Holdcraft 2.5 years ago, there were so many people that said, oh my gosh, I am so sorry that I missed that. I wanted so badly to see it. And so we were hoping that there was still enough buzz in the community that it would feed an audience for another production. And it is such a good show. It is such a good show.
I did not get to see it, but when I reread my story, even I was so compelled by thinking, why didn't I go see this? I need to go and see it. And I saw another familiar name pop up in there, Grant Fitch,
right?
Who was a part of that production.
Exactly.
And he has landed in this one, right?
Yes, he played the same role in both productions. He is Dominic Cormos. He is the main character. He was at Holdcraft. He is also at Footlight.
So the director and that lead character are the only only holdovers,
And
pun
me.
intended,
And
and
me,
you.
yeah.
All right. And your capacity again with the whole craft production was as
They call it stage manager, Footlight calls it assistant director. So
Okay.
I have the same position in both. John has the same position in both. Grant has the same role in both.
all right. So now we've teased our listeners and our viewers long enough. Without giving away too much, give us that thumbnail synopsis that, again, I read my own story and I thought, gosh, I really want to go and see this. So let's hear a little bit about I Regret Nothing and what the story plot is.
So Dominic is an ex-secret police officer in Romania. He was a torture officer. He is living a quiet life, a retired life, a lonely life. And he is suddenly visited by an old colleague who is trying to get him to do one last job. And at the same time, he also befriends his upstairs teen neighbor that's non-neurotypical and being abused by her father. And so he is being torn in two different directions of, do I do this job? I don't want to do this job.
Sure.
And how can I protect this girl? And it's just him getting through this conundrum in his life.
And then I'm going to ask our producer, I think there's a promo photo that shows the three kind of cast leads there. So we can float that on there. Even though it's a small but mighty cast, when I read my story, it said in there are also, okay, so here's what I'm seeing. There's our
Yes.
three. But there's also other voices, neighbors, people that are
Yes.
implied that are characters that necessarily are not in body form.
Right, correct. So the Grant Fitch is in the picture, obviously. Alexander Bonner is Alex Dima in the show. And Ariel Lark Felsecker rounds out the on-stage physical cast. All powerhouse actors. And then additionally, we have additional voices, which are the mother and the father fighting upstairs. And trying to decide how much to give away.
I'm wondering if our sound person has to make sure that there are some dogs barking at some point. Is there a sound of dogs barking? My story said something about a neighbor with dogs, and that's all it said in there. So unless I had that somehow confused, is there anything in the script or in the storyline about a neighbor at all?
I don't
Lisa
think the word
is
dogs is mentioned in the script at all. There is the sound effect of fighting going on upstairs,
Gotcha.
and a lot of heartbeats to kind of set a dramatic tone.
Okay.
And there is some dramatic music that plays as well. So
And tell us from a sound standpoint, a lot of times that music can just set the moment, or it can immediately transport us as an audience to a place. Do you agree?
I absolutely agree. And without giving away any information on it, in the second act, there is music that sets the tone
Sure.
of the more or less the ending of the play. And it is chill inspiring as far as I'm concerned. It's just awesome.
The running time, might still be fine tuning, but it should clock in at about what, with or without intermission?
It's running about, the play itself is about 1 hour per act with about a 15-minute intermission.
50-minute intermission there as well. And we'll get our producer to put the poster up there, because now that we've enticed folks, again, we want to let them know what we're talking about. Our friends here to the east, Footlight Players, right in the central part of Michigan City, are producing a play that's not often done that often called I Regret Nothing. I mentioned it was done a couple of years ago. There's our panel that has all the dates on there. So it opened last weekend. Pretty strong attendance. We were pretty pleased. You had folks in there.
We'd like to see more.
See even more. So now that we're teasing it, we're going to get...
We're hoping that word of mouth will bring in bigger audiences. And I do also want to reiterate that not just rarely done, this is exactly the second time it has been done in the United States.
Okay.
And both
so
times has been with John
This is
Hutchinson.
our not just been for a national premiere. If we can get, you've got your materials here for your cheat sheets. We should throw out a website, phone number, how people can get those reservations.
Okay. The website is footlightplayers.org, and you'll just go to upcoming shows and tickets, and that'll take you right to where you need to go, where you can purchase your tickets right online. If you are not comfortable purchasing online, we do still take phone reservations at 219-874-4035. Just leave a message with your name and what show you want to attend, and someone will return your call.
Okay. And Footlight, again, has a presence on social media. Facebook you can find as well. I go to the website a lot of times when I'm doing my homework, and you'll be able to find them. Small, intimate space, though, remember, it's only about 82 seats, so it is important to make sure that you get there. And this weekend's going to be a little more cold and gray. People are going to be looking to go inside. Last weekend, that weather peaked, and I think people were rounding up their garden hoses and trying to,
Right.
I don't know, a few people might even have put a few Christmas lights if you're, if you're tuning in, you have the video advantage on the desk today for a floral prop piece I've brought. This is not just a poinsettia. Strachan and Till has these, I think, as their Thanksgiving version of a poinsettia. So it's kind of an orangey, kind of a little bit of bling going on there as well. So since this is the Strachan and Till Studios, we want to give a shout out. And we've been talking about this weekend, last weekend, because this might be a rebroadcast. As I mentioned, we're having a live interview stamped right now, Tuesday, November the 18th. But when I say it's only the second weekend, go ahead and give us those real dates and run times. So options for seeing I Regret Nothing Footlight Players include
Thursday, November 20th, Friday the 21st, Saturday the 22nd, Sunday the 23rd. Thursday and Friday shows are at 7 p.m. Saturday and Sunday are at 2 p.m.
And so Saturday and Sunday are 2 p.m. No evening performances on Saturday either. So
Correct.
Make sure you plan accordingly with that, because you don't want to miss this opportunity. Last time I was there, it's not a big lobby, but a lot of times there would be a little exhibit up with some art and things like
Right.
that. Do you still feature art right there in the
Yes.
lobby?
We do have local artists.
I love that.
Different artists for each show put up their artwork that typically is at least for display and often for sale.
And I don't know if they still do this, but it used to be at intermission, they would do a 50-50 drawing. That helps put money into the coffers for the production company. And you as well can go home for a little something in your
Correct.
pocket. Or some patrons I know are kindly that will say, you just keep it all and put it right back into
That
the show.
happens so often that we are very, very appreciative
Very
of it.
grateful to see
Yeah.
that when that
And
happens.
and the 50-50, the funds that we do earn from the 50-50 drawing are actually used for our children's programs.
Oh, that is wonderful. That is wonderful. Speaking of more programs as well, you've got the brochure there, so we
Yes.
might as well give a little tease. We're already saying it, 2026. So we might as well go there for Christmas. Who do you have?
We actually do not have a Christmas
So a
production.
little break during the holiday.
Right, yes.
We come back in the new year in
Yes.
2026, and we start with
Wait until dark.
another suspense, right?
Right.
Much of which is done in the cloak of darkness, is it not?
It is.
Yes.
Giving the audience a feeling and a sense of what it might be to be a blind person,
Right.
as is the lead character, right?
Correct.
I saw this at Dunes, our friends at Dunes Summer Theater years back, and again, edge of your seat suspense. That's a great one. What's the dates for that?
That is February 5th through 15th.
Okay, so that'll be your February production. Give a little breathing room, and then next up,
April 9th through 19th is The Legend of Georgia McBride. It is rather new and kind of unknown. It is the story of an Elvis impersonator turned drag queen. And it is
okay.
his journey into drag.
And so that, I think I might have saw years back, and it was way up in the north side of Chicago at Northlight Theater. They had done that production, and it's a lot of fun. It's
It is fun.
a great romp. And now that gets us through spring, so now we're probably looking at something into the summer.
June 4th through 14th is the Miss Magnolia Senior Citizen Beauty Pageant,
That
which
sounds fun.
which if you have seen either of the 4 Old Broads productions that we've done in the last few
Yep.
years, this is the next up in the sequence.
Oh, and Footlight, you've always kind of made that also one of your stamps, to put something in there that might be a little humorous, a little fun, poke fun at. It could be a trailer park. It could be any kind of a rural setting. I can say this because I come from the middle of cornfields, and those are always very fun and rewarding, because we love suspense and we love drama and we love psychological thrillers, but then sometimes you just need something to escape the everyday headlines, and that's just good old-fashioned fun, right?
Gotta
Right.
mix it
And-
up a little bit.
You mix it up a little bit.
And that's it. That my hope is for us to have a balanced season
Mm-hmm.
so that we can appeal to everyone, so that there is some funny romp, and then
Yep.
there is something that you're going to walk away talking about and thinking
Something
about.
for everyone.
And
Exactly.
folks will ask about this, and, well, how do they just pick these titles? There is a programming committee or board that reviews it. Are both or either of you on that board or have served on that board over the
Yes.
years?
I have served on
You
it.
have
I'm
it
not
over the years.
currently on the board.
But you have in the years.
And
That's key, right?
Right. And our place selection committee actually has started this month
To start for the next season.
next year. So, yeah.
What season are you at? Is it on that brochure?
Yes, right now we are on our 76th season.
How wonderful is that to have something that has been around for that many years and will certainly continue? That is also up to our audience and these wonderful arts patrons, sponsors, the folks that help. You hear this on the show over and over again. Whatever the cost of that ticket is, and this is always a very affordable a ticket. What are your tickets at right now? $17. That's a movie theater ticket. And this is live entertainment. It covers just a mere fraction of what it goes into costuming, the overall paying, the electric bill, heating, cooling, all that has to be factored into the budgets for our theater companies throughout Northwest Indiana and Chicagoland, and that ticket price is just a fraction. So the generosity of folks that are the sponsors, underwriters, donors, no donation too small is ever not appreciated or in gratitude, because it's what makes the entire budget balance and help out for it with funding. The other part I wanted to get out one more time here is get a phone number and a website.
It's footlightplayers.org, and the phone number is 219-874-4035.
And then to get back to that programming committee, that is a tricky balancing act. I know you both had, because I'm going to guess your checklist has to include, okay, what did we just do last season? What sold well, but we want to mix it up. But what will also draw somebody again? What didn't do well? What's everybody else in the area doing?
Correct.
What licensing is then available? Because if somebody else just down the street might have something, then it might be hands off for you as well.
Licensing's a big part of it.
And
run into that situation.
How do we
before.
keep our existing audience? But we also want to get new audience members.
Right.
So this set likes this. A younger audience might want more of that, but it's not easy, right, to do all of that?
And that is a big part of it, is finding that balance, because like you said, that while we have an audience that does enjoy a particular type of show, that we do need to continue to bring in new people. And if we are only accommodating the people that have been coming, then when they stop coming, then we're out of audience.
It doesn't do any good for, and I say this for all of us, even for my column readers, it doesn't do any good for all of us for Footlight to be the most popular theater venue in the cemetery.
Right.
Or my column readers to be, all my readerships are the most popular ones at Graveland Cemetery. We have to also keep cultivating new readers, new patrons, and hopefully that word of mouth helps, because there is not a big advertising budget for any of these theaters in our area. That's why I'm so pleased that I can help give a platform on this show, in those columns, to help spread the word. And then social media. All of the theaters have done so well with cultivating what is essentially free, and then getting everybody to share, and that helps as well. Speaking of cultivating, you mentioned our children's programming and opportunities and workshops. That's our young theater goers, both on stage and in the audience. Tell us about that program.
So we have a summer youth program that is completely free. We do not charge a tuition. The children don't. They are provided T-shirts and theater bags, and they put on a full production. So it's a two-week camp that they not only learn the script so that they can put on the show, but they also learn about costuming, and they also learn about dressing the set and sound and lighting.
Hands-on with everything. Yeah, every aspect of theater.
What I love so much, and we're saying children probably could be in air quotes, because a lot of theater groups are so wonderful and accommodating. Well, there might be some 7-year-olds, but you also have some 13 and 14-year-olds. Are you able to craft it and make sure there's something that's a fit for everybody so they can all be involved?
Most definitely, yeah.
Good. And I thought that was the case, so that's wonderful.
Our program, I believe, it used to be stated that you had to be 5 years old. Now it says able to read.
Yeah.
So I believe that's the way they worded it last year. And we go all the way up through age 18. And finding those scripts are challenging as well, because to find something that you can accommodate 30 kids and children that are very, very young and children that are nearly adults. So it is challenging.
And in my experiences, too, the kids have had so much fun, and they've been so appreciative. they just have the greatest time. There's so
Oh, yeah.
so many friendships that are bonded.
Sure.
It's a great experience and a great way for kids to get into theater.
And I hope there's not a secret robot army out there somewhere, but I am just such a big proponent of why we need theater, the arts, to stimulate this imagination and remove it from everything being right here. And I know AI can be a tool that can assist, but so often if AI is able to create, a piece of artwork or something that you need in 18 seconds or do an entire play script, well, then all of us up here, we're going to be in a rocking chair somewhere, right? And we want to cultivate those young minds to know that they will be the ones that may have to use that as a tool to guide, but we don't want all of our art to be created that. We want it to come and be generated, because if our brains aren't working, well then, gosh, we are really in a sad state. Speaking of working, brains will definitely be working if you go to see I Regret Nothing, because it is a suspense thriller. Only been produced. This is the second time. We mentioned I wrote about it a couple years ago in 2023 with Holdcraft. Now it's at our friends at Footlight Players. But this is the final weekend, so you already missed the first weekend. Final weekend, those dates again, Bobbi?
The 20th through the 23rd, Thursday through Sunday.
Remember, and it's a rare opportunity to see something that you don't normally see. If the second time it's produced in America,
right?
Nobody has seen this.
Yeah,
and it's a play that really deserves to be seen because it is an incredibly good play.
Absolutely, which means I think it's on for bigger and better stages. So you're not going to get it for $17 once it hits a Chicago market. Is all I'm saying. Get your tickets right now, and then how can they get those tickets? What is their homework? To go where or call where?
Footlightplayers.org or call 219-874-4035.
And anybody that was hearing about all of the wonderful roster of shows that are coming up 2026, already on sale, or nope, not till the beginning of the year?
Yeah, they're all on sale.
So you can go online and you can do your homework there. I said there's a great brochure. If you go out and see this week and pick that brochure up so you can have it, put it on the refrigerator, and again, word of mouth, pass this along to a friend. This show, I Regret Nothing, it is edge of your seat thriller suspense, and I know you haven't seen it yet. It's not something that's been out there, but you will want to see it. And I bet it's the type of a production that, well, after you leave the theater, you're talking about it in the car, and you're talking about it all weekend with each other.
Absolutely.
It will leave an impression on you.
That means you have certainly done your work. Congratulations, I'm going to say already, because of the fact that you're bringing new works. And most of all, come back again and visit. Remind me the last time, Bobbi, you were on the show. Never have been on the show.
Correct.
In 8 years, but we've crossed paths so much from writing back and forth. Have you been on the show?
I have been on with you before, Phil. I was on with another production at Footlight probably 3 years ago. It was the Holiday Channel Christmas movie Wonderthon.
That's right. That was another one.
I was a romance writer, and that was.
And it had fun promo artwork with that too. I remember I wrote about it, and we gave it. Please come back anytime. No matter what your project is or what you're working on, there's an open door, and we welcome you. And thank you for all that you do.
We appreciate your support, too.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And thank you to all of our listeners and our viewers for tuning in for this edition of Notoriety. I'm your host, Phil Potempa. We hope to see you back again next week. And whether you're hearing this as a live broadcast or a rebroadcast, enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, or wherever your path may take you.